Hi, this is Puzzled Oysters. I'm going to take a break from Pathologic 2 to show you a little bit of the first one so you can see where it's come from and where it's gone. First of all, there's two of these right here. One is the original release of Pathologic from, I want to say 2005, 2006. And then the other is Pathologic Classic HD, which was released, I think they made it during the time they were working on Pathologic 2. This Classic HD, I think, was around, I don't remember. Let me guess 2015 as a random guess. And so the reason they changed the Pathologic remake to Pathologic 2 is because they had this come out and they didn't want to confuse people. So we'll look at both of them. For now, we're just going to look at the original Pathologic, which was kind of notorious for having a bad and confusing translation. One of the things they fixed in Classic HD. So let's fire this up.
I shall remind you that the mysterious epidemic has already destroyed several wonderful towns in the north of our country. The source and the circumstances of the tragedy remain unknown. There are quite a few things that cannot be explained. This epidemic acts as if it has a mind of its own. This disease behaves as though it has a mind of its own. Undoubtedly, there is some kind of insuperable will behind it. Otherwise, how should one explain the fact that nobody has managed to defeat this disease? How should one explain the fact that it treats with the utmost hatred those things that are most loved and cherished by us? When picking a victim, the sand plague abides by some fastidious law. However, if they attempt to resist it, according to the same law, the disease always returns. It is strange that the almighty authorities are still silent.
Yeah, that's about the quality of voice acting for this game. That's probably one of the better ones right there. If this gets boring, I'll speed it up in post. Oh, that looked like Sticky. She might be Capella with the red hair. So I'm gonna click new game. It's gonna get right into it very quickly. So get ready. Here we go.
So you are Vitaris of Ruse. Where on earth did you come from?
No, I don't like a trick. But when we are about to be fooled, the situation unties our hands. Where are we?
Well, the muscles are flexing, meaning we are already inside it. Looks like one of the ventricles.
What an absurd place. It's just a piece of taxidermy. This means everything isn't for real yet. Looks like it hasn't started.
Does it matter?
So that was... Oh. I thought that was going to fade to a loading screen. So those are three healers. The changeling there. The hair specs is me in the back, and then that's the bachelor. I barely understood any of what they're saying. Anyway, at any time I could have just gone through this door. So these are our three characters. Yeah, they use photos for the characters in this. So right away you can choose between the bachelor, the hair specs. Well, okay. Let's take a look. Actually go through one at a time. Text is a little small. I guess I'll read it. Hope you don't mind. The history of mankind knows such catastrophes that demonstrate the whole insignificance of our achievements and the victory of undefeatable evil. Such are, of course, the epidemics of various contagious diseases that have destroyed whole cities in the past. The best and wisest of the participants of such events have all come to the same conclusion that it isn't worth fighting in such circumstances, but is best to simply clench one's teeth and take the losses. This is a story of a man who performed a miracle and defeated an opponent when victory seemed impossible. Here it's rendered as the Hierospicus. How did they call upon Menku, the true from the family of Hierophants? They are distinguished by their hands, the butchers, the surgeons, the healers of the lines, the leaders of the order, the ones that speak to the Udorgs, masters of the art of the Hierospicus. Who is called the Hierospicus? One who tells the future by the guts. He knows that the body is similar to the universe. His scalpel follows the lines of the body, his feet follow the ways of his people. They are trusted with power when they know which line to choose. They are thrown into the dark flesh of the earth when they lose their way. This is a story speaks of a man who avoided a contradiction that threatened to destroy the doomed life and masterfully reached his true destiny. Finally, there's the Changeling, or as they call her here, the Devotress. This character will become available after you finish the game by one of the other two characters, the Bachelor or the Hierospicus. So, with Pathologic 2, you don't get to make that choice. Right now, they only have the Hierospecus. They were planning to work on the Bachelor if it sold well enough. I don't know the progress of that. But an interesting thing is that it's generally, like, the standard is to start with the Bachelor for most people. Most people play as the Bachelor first. And one reason is it introduces things a little better. He's new to town, whereas the Hierospecus isn't new to town, so like you're thrown into things that the character knows that you don't learn as well. And I believe also the translation quality degrades with each. Like, the Bachelor's is the best, then the Hierospecus is worse, and then the Devotress is almost unintelligible. But anyway, we want to see how this compares to Pathologic 2. So I'm going to choose the Hierospicus.
Artemy Burak returned to his hometown after 10 years of absence. He was born into a family that had the privilege of cutting open dead bodies, granted to them by the customs of the steppe people. Since birth, he had been preparing for a future of the kind. Isidore Burak, Artemy's father, a philosopher and healer, greatly respected among his people, having admitted the limitations that decreased the level of patriarchic knowledge, sent his son to study modern medicine to the city. Artemy travels from town to town for several years, studies theoretical and practical surgery. He suddenly receives a letter from his father in which his parent speaks of his forthcoming death and asks his son to return to receive the heritage. Not willing to wait for the arrival of a regular train, Artemy sets off on foot, walking next to the railroad in the steppe. At some point, a small, maneuverable locomotive picks him up, and the young Hierospicus arrives at his hometown.
Hierospicus. So it's already a little bit different than in Pathologic 2. Alright, let me click. Oh, I guess I can't click. Let's just let the text scroll away. And the guy from Nickelback has fallen on hard times. the hair specs outfit is so strange to me. So they were lying in wait, and I fought and killed them. That's not new. So I'm greeted by this journal entry. Man, I really don't want to read all this out loud, so I'm going to just zoom in the screen. Who will I be if I break the continuity of my family, if I don't bind my destiny with my father's? There's some of the writing, it's hard to tell if that's... how much of that's the writing style and how much of that is an awkward translation. So before I close this, let's just note I have a health bar and I guess a single reputation bar for the entire town. Day 1. I'm to become a wanted criminal instead of being a lawful heir. So, right now, I guess in Pathologic 2, I don't know that... I don't hear anything about death, I just hear that I'm to come to town. Hope you don't mind me looking at this real quick. But here, we're hearing right away that the father's dying. Okay, quick save and quick load. That's something this has that the other doesn't. Oh, here's another heritage message. This is the letter. There's one for every day, by the way. Sorry, I'll let you get back to reading that. If you don't find me alive, speak to Vlad Olgimsky. So, yeah, I'm told to head there instead of anywhere else. Okay, I have quick save and quick load, and I gotta search these bodies and take their stuff. So the hair specs can cut people open. I don't think I'm gonna stop on all the flavor text, because that's gonna make this video take so much longer. The gatherers and the hump at the... But anyway, since I'm the hair specs, I can basically do surgery on them right now and take their stuff. It's a tourniquet, money... Man, this makes me really miss Pathologic 2's user interface. Okay, there's at least one more. Wait till we get to the HD remastered version where it's a lot harder to find them. Maybe there's just 2. I thought there were 3. Here, the orderlies, they're not as obviously people in costumes. It's harder to tell what they are. They almost look more like statues. This is the dialogue window. Looks like he's an executor here. Which is kind of a cool name, honestly, for them. Cool and cryptic. This question is in Pathologic too. I believe my heart is too soft is how it was rendered there. Your health is near 0. Sorry, I don't know if that's a translation thing or if that's the game getting kind of meta there. Interesting. Which of them will kill you earlier? I'll need a bandage package. So they're introducing you to the barter economy. I am hungry as far as you're concerned. So a warehouse was robbed once again. I can get to... It's asking me to go to the warehouses. I am out of the law? They are frightened and will attack you easily at the moment. I can do without his advice. Oh, here's the map. It went to that automatically. So it's very similar to the other one. I really like the quality of this map overall, though. It looks really cool. So yeah, it's very similar to the Pathologic 2 one. The layout is a little different. The abattoir, and they call the apiary, the termitary is what they call it in Pathologic 2. Here it's the apiary. But in that they were a little bit more over here. I don't know what this is. Station. Olgimsky's house. Capella. Oh. Okay. Spelled differently, but that's roughly where it is. The theater is... I thought maybe it was on the left bank in the other one. Oh, there's Lara Ravel. The polyhedron, you can't... Oh, you can. You can select it right there. The cathedral. Clicking on that shows me... I don't know what any of this means. A heart, blood, and a vial. So... let's talk to the other executor. And this doesn't really make much sense to me. By the way, I'm going to be going through dialogue a little faster in this, I think, than Pathologic 2, so I'd recommend pausing if you want to read. So right now, they want me to do good deeds to... My reputation's already bottomed out. It took me a little while in Pathologic 2. It falls because of... My reputation falls because of the quantity of living beings killed by my hand. "30 adherents. So what they're saying is adherents are not generic character models. Beggars, marginals. Rest of the crowd is simple. I don't like you. I don't like arrogant characters. So let's take a look. This is that station. Oh, you see that in the upper corner there. In this, as you walk, you automatically loot stuff from the ground. There's also loot in dumpsters. Yeah, I'm going to be quick saving a lot, just because that's my habit, I suppose. They took quick save out of Pathologic 2. You don't need it as much. In this, you absolutely need it a lot more. This is a lot less forgiving. So here's a crowd of people I run into. And I guess I'm just going to run away. Kind of looks like the same group as before. They're gonna chase me down. And I run to the warehouse. And here it is. Kind of like the warehouse we've seen before. Much more bright and colorful lights. So, not everyone has something to say. I'm pressing the talk button, even though they're highlighted. The talking to them doesn't do anything. There's no button to highlight people who have something to say. So none of these people can talk. But you can.
Here everyone speaks, murderer. No! Nobody will kill Simon Kane. I did not believe.
So there's Notkin. Tighter? Doctor. You wanna... I'm gonna threaten to beat up a kid.
What?
Griff. I don't know who Griff is. Oh! Grief. Bad grief. Huh, interesting. I never made that connection before. You're talking about me. Oh yeah, so this part's gonna be a little bit offensive. It's something they change later on, so I don't endorse everything we're gonna see, but it's kind of interesting to see, I suppose. Licca. Spelled a little differently, but that's... Licca was in the first... was in Pathologic 2, I should say. I like, they get the pun out of the name. What kind of thing was stolen? They're at war. Where is he now? I guess I'll ask what kind of thing was stolen. Powder. If he's with the dog, don't kill it. Don't kill dogs. Okay. Yeah, that's where... This is where you can kind of see how it might... It's a little offensive. So, what do I have, by the way? This part's tricky to figure out. I should wait till I'm outside before I start pulling out weapons. Change my mind. Just as long as I'm not too close. So I have that knife equipped. Tab button will raise and lower. So I just click to equip the gloves there. I have drugs. Meridorm. I guess it's a painkiller. Slightly restores health. But it's better while I'm sleeping. So I think it will make me more tired. I don't know for sure what kind of meter they have in this. Along with bandages for the greatest effect. Strengthens the immune system. Here we go, tourniquet. So using it right away, it brings up my health, and then it just disappeared there. I got some water I can drink. I don't think this actually has any sort of thirst mechanic. I don't think there's any sort of inventory limit, by the way. I can carry as much as I want. Okay, anyway. So I'm to go to this field and kill Lika. I guess I could go to Olgimsky's house, but yeah, I want to do this first. It's kind of the same. You can see the passages. It's lower resolution. On YouTube, it might be even harder to see. Like, there's a little gap here. Okay, I need to get my bearings. Alright, my reputation's already at the bottom, so I have to be careful and avoid people. Okay, and I just follow this train track. Uh-oh, that's combat music. Yeah, he's gonna chase me down. That's another reason people usually start on The Bachelor. The Hair-Specs is a little harder to start out because your reputation's at the bottom, people are out to get you. It's not the same when you're playing as The Bachelor. I really don't want to have to fight him and the other guy at the same time. Kinda strange a baby cried after he died. So I can take his watch, his money, and his organs and blood. Because I'm the Hair-Specs. Okay. Oh. Kinda off course here. You can see some actual cows here. Oh yeah, the river is still kind of the same. Yeah, the drowsy distance is pretty bad in this, and everything's brown and ugly. That's all part of the oppressive atmosphere of the game. When this came out, like, the graphics were considered bad for the time. I remember my favorite review quote, like, in a review from this was around the time Fallout 3 came out, or was coming out, and, like, there was the whole people whining saying it, Fallout 3 is Oblivion with guns, and my favorite quote about this game, someone said, this is Oblivion with cancer. So, just compare this to Oblivion to kind of get an idea for the benchmark of graphics at the time. Alright, here we go. So he's a generic guy. He's got a doll instead of any sort of portrait or avatar. Yeah, this is kind of what I mean about it being a little offensive here. Although I guess my character is maybe kind of an asshole. Kind of awkward translation there. So here's this word dual souls. Now, what did they call them? I think they called them soul and a half in Pathologic 2, something like that. Here they're called dual souls. Tell me what they want to kill you for. Is there anyone else to turn in? He killed a dog. That's one of the reasons they're mad at him. I'd say that's not convincing. Yeah, it's a little hard to understand what's going on. Oops. I think I pressed the draw weapon button from Pathologic 2 to bring this up. This is like a little quest journal. But Notkin's face seemed kind at first. I think he has yet to feel sorry for his bloodlust. This graphics glitch I'm seeing, I think I pressed the F button too and that turned on my flashlight. It kind of glitches things out. So yeah, the first thing you do is you have to... I mean, I guess you don't have to kill this guy. You have a choice not to. Powder. So now that he's dead, I can go back. Yeah, this does not have a run button, by the way. This is as fast as you go, and there's no fast travel in this either. So it feels very sluggish. That's one of the changes they made to Pathologic 2. But, like, they give and take at the same time because they took out quick saving. They added in fast travel, but it requires a resource, and it still takes some time. And it's a little limited how many places you can go. Speaking of quick saving. So that's one of the other things that makes this game a little hard to get into for people is the fact that you move a little on the slow side. I glitched there for a second. Compared to how big the map is. I might be getting myself into a dead end here. Well, I guess not.
The doctor from the capital did not turn out a sap. A dangerous man.
What kind of thing was that? Ah, yeah. We scratched. So, for killing the guy, I can't switch weapons that easily. I get a revolver with 6 bullets right off the bat. Kind of made the music freak out there a little bit. So I have a gun now. I can head to Olgibski's. I don't like the sound of that music. Let's try this revolver out. There's that baby crying again. My reputation just went down too. It's a little easy to miss, but it's definitely lower than it was before. So even though that guy was trying to kill me, killing them is maybe not such a great thing. So I'll just try to run to avoid that guy. Seems like I avoided him. That combat music is kind of handy. Makes it a little easier to know when you've managed to get away from someone chasing you. So I don't know for sure how effective that crouching is. These late ones are stores, by the way. I don't know how effective this crouching is. It's not hurting, that's for sure. Okay, so I don't want that guy to see me. I don't know if I can go around that or not. Well, nothing I can really do. Oh, he's not my enemy. Oh, he's a drunkard. Do you have anything for a drink of spring water? What is this bulging cartilage? Good, nice fellow. I will not refuse to give a button. Oh, here's the trade interface. So, I have water? He doesn't have anything to give me, though. I guess I have one here. He has -1 there. That's probably the handshakes. I don't actually want to do this, though. Like, surviving is not easy. I can't just give my water away. That's interesting. That's icon says is water, a water bottle, but the description is of a fishing hook. Do I know what time it is? Oh, 9 a.m. Okay, I'm getting there. I think the automatically looting stuff off the ground does ease the pain a little bit of your slow speed. If you make a wrong turn, at least you're picking stuff up. Whether everything if alright with them. Oh, great, I can be the male fate is harder guy. Or I can ask her to fix my clothes. Oh, she actually could fix my gloves, and I have money. Oh, hey. Hello there. Tragedian. I am not Big Vlad, or as they call him in Pathologic 2, Boss Vlad. He'll only be back at 11. Does it say anything about some Burak? I can hear your lies tearing through your mask. Bachelor Stankovsky. Thanks, man. And talk to him again. How long do I have to wait till 11? It gets darker at 7, by the way. Yes, it's September in the north. Good God. So, I have to wait until, what, 11 o'clock for him to come home? So I just have to survive, I guess. Okay, this is some kind of shop. I guess maybe a doctor. This is what the shopkeepers look like in this game. Polite. To me. Alright, I'll be back when I'm rehabilitated. So yeah, I can't buy anything from him or sell. In the meantime... Oh. I mean, I could check out Griff. He was mentioned earlier. I mentioned his name, and he's not far. I wish this had a compass. Does that just fill an empty bottle? This doesn't have a thirst mechanic. Well, it kind of makes sense. There's no running, so no stamina. And thirst is tied to stamina in Pathologic too. I actually think that's a really cool mechanic. I like how thought out that is. That guy might try and fight me. There's a sewer. A manhole. The ugliness is definitely, like, somewhat intentional. To at least some degree. Rubens' dissecting room. Alright. The guy from Nickelback is after me. I thought this was the building. Some menacing looking guys there. He's got a knife out. So this is bad grief. Oh, there's okay. There's oh, he's got an empty throne. Kind of a similar face.
My tongue is my enemy. A well-thought gain comes before.
This makes no sense to me. Apparently I don't know him either. Oh, so this is the place I can buy and sell things.
Have the seams opened again?
No matter my reputation. This gibberish gets kind of tiresome. Oh. So that's the guy I killed. Yeah. He gave me some shotgun shells.
Kinda lot of authority was taken by the guest from the capital. Would it be a trouble?
So he's saying I can go to the cemetery and kill someone? And maybe that'll fix my reputation? It's a little hard to parse that. I can trade with her. She has shotgun shells and rifle ammo. It's hard to tell like what she'll take. I guess it would be lit up if it was something she wanted. Actually I think at this point we've seen enough of this version. Maybe I'll go on with Pathologic 2, but so yeah, this is what the original release of Pathologic is like. Rough around the edges, especially with that god-awful translation, honestly. Like, it does have some appeal, I guess. It makes it even more surreal in some ways. But it turns out the writing in this is good enough, but it's surreal anyway. I'm so impressed by the localization of Pathologic 2. And I've read, like, posts and on Twitter and the Something Awful forums from like people who worked on it, and they thought through everything and they worked really closely with the original team. Like they were there during the whole process, and yeah, it's just really cool. Now of course the translation for Pathologic Classic HD Remastered or whatever is a little different. It's better than the one in this. It's more clear. It's not artful like the Pathologic 2 one is. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed getting a chance to see a little of what this is like, and yeah, sometime maybe we'll take a look at Pathologic 2. Thanks and farewell.